Hello YouTubes, this is Grimweird coming back at you again with more playthrough of Enigmatica 2 Expert mod pack for Minecraft 1.12.2. So our digital miner finished up its business in the last place we had it. One of the things that disappointed me was that, let's see, we had it set up here. And I thought Redwood Forest gave emeralds, but not only did I not get emeralds, I didn't get paradots or sapphires or rubies or anything else. And then I noticed when I mouse over this that it's Redwood Forest Edge, not Redwood Forest proper. And so I think that's why I did not get any gems of any interest. So I am now down here in a Redwood Forest proper spot. And I'm going to set up my digital miner for its second round, and hopefully we will get some emeralds this time. I still have plenty for now, and I could get more from trading with villagers, but it's nice to get free emeralds as we are working through this. So we've got our power cell, which is linked to one on our mechanism inductor matrix. We got an ender chest which is linked up to a hopper feeding into our drawers. We are going to configure it. Where am I? I'm at Y70. I'm going to go down to maybe config, go down to maybe 65 just so I don't open up any pits in the area. I'm going to leave it at a radii of the radius of 32. So I think that's it. It's going to take 437.73, which sounds about right. That is with 5 of 8 speed. I found that going up to 6 of 8 raised the energy cost more than I liked. And I also found that it started to outpace the Enderbox and Hopper's ability to stuff stuff in my drawers. So 5 of 8's a nice compromise there. I've got 8 of 8 to keep that energy level down since I'm not producing a huge amount of energy yet in this sort of early mid-game. And I've got Anchor to keep this chunk loaded when I am not here. And so we are good to go. We have auto eject into the ender chest on, so the auto eject is in the back. There are power inputs on each side and underneath it, so we've only got the one that we need. So that's all set up and we're ready to roll. And if you have part of your grid that you are going to mine above ground, you can have visuals on and see them. But since my entire grid that I'm doing this is underground with going from minimum of 0, so bedrock, to a maximum of 65, which is about 5 blocks below us, we're not actually going to see anything there. We've got the ore filter going on, so basically it's going to break anything that comes up as ore in the ore dictionary, and then it's going to give us the proceeds of that. So it'll break coal ore and give us ore bits. It'll break diamond ore and give us diamonds, etc. So we are set to go, and let us start. So it's going to mine 14,563 spots, and it's clicking through them at a reasonable pace. And if we take a look here at the ender chest, we can start seeing the proceeds coming out. And these are being sucked out of the ender chest that's linked to it by a hopper, and everything looks good. So I have gone ahead and let me just double check. I took one of my backup tools, an axe, which I hardly ever use, although I did cut down a couple of redwoods here just to give myself some space and a little extra wood. I've got that set to teleport me back to this area. I think I'm going to move it over here, say teleport to right about here. So now when I want to come back and check on this or pick it up, boink, I can teleport here. I love that Osglow glass and the brown magic feature that comes with it. So I have like 5 or 6 Osglow glass tools now, and I can use them as free mobile teleportation spots, like we just teleported back to here with the hammer, courtesy of my hammer's brown magic. Um, so now I got that moving. If we watch here, let's see, we got 2196. Yep, we're getting iron trickling into my boxes here. We're going to start at 16 emeralds, so I'll keep an eye on that, see if we get a few more emeralds out of this run, hopefully. Things are popping in here and then popping down to this hopper and then going into the drawers. So everything looks to be going fine. Just to double check, this is only my second run through with the digital miner, so pardon me while I get all anal and make sure that I verify everything is going good. So I got 915-ish RF going in. I've got an output of 437 to the digital miner, and that's coming from this bad boy as an output power cell. Or it's outputting from the induction casing, the induction matrix into this, and then it's being used by the one that's paired to this out by the miner. Meanwhile, my windmills and my thermoelectric generators continue to put energy into the induction matrix through this guy. So yeah, everything is good, and that takes care of the initial work of this episode, which is just setting up that digital miner for its second run and making sure everything is cool and we know what we're doing. And everything seems to be cool and we know what we're doing. So now I got to decide what to do next. So I'm going to pause the recording here and ruminate on possible paths forward, and I will be back with more episode. Alright, so as I was trying to think what to do about today and what kind of things I wanted to do today, things that I've had on the table for a while are, working on applied energistics, but that's a lot of crafting that's sort of boring to watch. So I'll sort of continue to tinker away on that until I get something to actually show you. Yesterday, or I guess the last episode, whenever that was, we went to the Nether and did some mining there. I sort of wanted to head down to Bedrock and see what the charged Certus quartz situation and emerald situation was in these biomes plenty situation for the Nether ore, since that's sort of new to me as an old vanilla guy. But I got to looking around and noticed that I'm up to 62 level, which is really pushing it for my luck. I have a tendency to die when I get up into the 60s from something stupid like not paying attention. So I really wanted to finish getting some armor and getting it enchanted up. I still want to pick up, I've got flux infused legs and boots, but I want to get the flux infused nanosuit or the flux infused helmet and chest, and then I want to finish getting all the enchants I want on them before I die and lose all this experience. So I decided to go ahead and set up a monster farm, and now this is still going to be pretty ghetto. It's going to be a little bit less ghetto than my shooting range back at the base, but still not particularly high tech. I decided to put it out here for a couple reasons. One, I have this power here, and two, I've already got a bunch of cows here. Now it's possible that having a bunch of cows here is going to limit the random monster spawns, but I'm mostly going to be counting on the monsters coming from the spawner. And this chunk doesn't stay loaded when I'm back at the base, I assume, unless there's some way to claim it and get it to load on an internal server. I can look into that. But on the whole, I'm not too worried about it because so much armor drops from these damn monsters that it's going to be more a case of just sifting through it all. So let me show you what I got. I wanted to minimize my new power and new power cell and new connector usage. So I just dropped a line down from my cow farm network, XNet network. Dropped a line down here, threw down one connector, which is connecting to the Mob Crusher. So what this does is it will, um, once it gets power, it will kill things in a certain area. If we take a look at that area by hitting this button, it shows you it's going to be, I guess, like a 1 by 1 by 3 tall kind of area. And I went ahead and made a range add-on onto it. I just usually make the +9s just because it's a nice big area. Turns it into a 13 by 13, and I'm still not sure how +9 makes it 13, but whatever. It takes it to 13 by 13 by 3 tall. We're going to throw the spawner out in the middle of this. Going to put some ineffable glass in these holes so I can sort of watch and also jump in there if I need to, because the dark ineffable glass will block any light from going in and it'll block them from coming out, but I can walk through it. So we'll grab 3 pieces of that from my other mob farm, or I should say shooting, whoa, don't do that, shooting range. It's not really much of a farm. I've got a barrel here for, this collects fluid essence. It'll collect up to 8 buckets on board, and you can pipe it out, and that is an essence tank. So if we look here, the color codes are energy items. So you can put, pardon me, I have to cough. So you can put some sort of batteries or something in here and full ones, and they will drop down to there. Fluid essence, again, you can put things like empty capsules or something in there, and they will drop down full to here. This mob drop output, so it collects anything that the mobs drop and put them here. So we'll be collecting fluid essence in this iron drum, and we will be piping the items out into, this is sort of ghetto, what can I say, I'm an old school vanilla guy, so I just got my cascade of chests with hoppers. So this will give me now all of this area and all of this area and all of this area to collect stuff in. And if this chunk doesn't stay loaded when I'm out and about, that doesn't matter, because quite frankly, I'm going to get so much crap here, and I'm only looking for 2 pieces at the moment, that I'm just probably going to go AFK and go have some dinner and watch a TV show and stand here for a couple hours, and this will fill up, and I'll occasionally come back and run out and sleep and to keep the solar generator going and whatnot. And as I find pieces that I want to keep for later, I will just move them up here. I'll probably just end up destroying a lot of leather and iron and whatnot. So this will be fine for now. It's not ideal. I need to figure out how to make, I think you can take an arc furnace and feed these armor drops into them and get things like mana steel and stuff out of that recycling arc furnace. But I haven't gotten around to that yet, and that's something I'll worry about later when I have a better system for moving stuff around. So I think we're all good to go here. Let's see. So the things I need to do now is it's nighttime, so I'm going to go ahead and head back to the base and sleep. And we're going to pick up our dark ineffable glass and our monster spawner and take them back over there. And we got to set up the XNet network to power that thing and move all the liquids and whatnot around. So let me get my cardboard boxes out. To package up the so we're going to go ahead and send those back towards my base. This was a really me just slapping down a bunch of this until I figured out how it worked. So obviously you don't need anywhere near this much to do what I was wanting to do. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and zap zap. And get a box out and whoa. Oops. Zap, 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 zap. Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, so we've gotten our spawner. And I'm going to go ahead and leave those two pieces here in case I need to come back and do something else sometime else. That's a good spot for leveling up my weapons. So for those of you who haven't seen this one, it's easy to see. You can stand down here. Is there something in there still? Did I fail to pick something up? Hey, I failed to pick up the spawner. Important safety tip. So basically you just stand here down here at foot level. There's only a half slab space here. So even the baby zombies can't get through you, and you're low enough that they can't hit you. They might be able to hit you if you snug right up against it. But you know, if you're like even just a little tiny bit back, they can't. Because you're at a lower level than the floor, except for the back corners, most of the experience will roll towards you. So you can just hit here and level up your weapons. That's why I call it the shooting range in my head. So I'm just going to leave the rest of that action there in case I want to grab another spawner and continue on with the shooting range tradition. I'm going to grab some of this glass, put my spare boxes away. So I got my spawner, I got my dark ineffable glass. I've already got everything set up there, so I think we just need to head back out there. I've got my shovels, Osglow glass set up for the farm. So another reason to have it out here is that I've already got a teleportation point out here with my excavator tool. So the other thing we're going to have to do is see what we got here and set up some more stuff. So let's see. I think one of the things I want to remember to do here, as I learned with my wind generator farm, if this is priority 0, I want to make all the rest of this stuff priority -1 for energy input to make sure that I never drain so much power out of the system that my network controller goes dark. And then you have to reboot the system and put power into it again. Basically, if this beast runs out of power, it's got 99,999 now. If this runs out of power, then it loses its memory, and you have to apply power to it to reteach it to take power from the solar generator. Okay, so then we're going to set up another XNet energy, I guess. We can just do that on this one. So energy, we're going to go here. I'm going to create, we're going to insert, we're going to make it -1, and boom. So that should take care of that. And whoa. No, I do not want to do that. I'm just going to run out and check. I've now set up a few of these networks, but I just always like to make sure. Okay, we are at 50,000 of 50,000 FE, so we are good to go there. It is getting power. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do another we're going to create an item network. So this will be our first green colored item network. And we are going to insert there. And I'm not sure, I think you can blacklist, but without the ability to void anything, the blacklist would just keep it all in the mob crusher, and then the mob crusher inventory would fill up and it would stop working anyway. So what I would need to do is put some sort of void ability in here, and I do not think the XNet can void by itself. So we're going to do that. We're going to insert into there, and we're going to take stuff out of here. So that should be good to go. I think that's all I need to do there. And then we're going to make another fluid channel. And for this channel, we are going to insert into there. And from our mob crusher, we're going to extract. I think that's all I need to do for that. So I think we are ready to go. I actually do really like this XNet system. The only thing that I really have a problem with is that I sometimes get confused over what insert and extract means. Is that insert or extract from the machine, or insert or extract into the pipes? But I think I got that straight now. So in theory, when we power this, or when we get moving here, we're gonna create a bunch of liquid essence here and create a bunch of stuff here. It's going to get pumped out to there and there. The stuff here is going to cascade down to the bottom. I can sort it out into these things as I desire. I don't know what to do with the liquid essence, but I want to keep it just in case. I'm going to throw that there. I'm going to gather up my torches. I'm going to go ahead and put my ineffable glass in place before I release the monsters, because that seems like a better idea than doing it like what I was just about to do. Take that there, and then I'm going to right click. Now, how do you do this again? Shift right click, pick up our box, get out of Dodge, and we shall see what happens. Alright, monsters are appearing and dying. That turned green, so we've got 420 essence there. Let's see what's going on down here. Oh, crapola. Gotta get the box out of my damn hand before I do something silly with it. Alright, and we've got essence and rotten flesh there, so 1380. Our first piece of armor. So we are in business. And so while this is still a bit ghetto, it is a step up from our shooting range, because now I can just sort of chill here and go AFK for a couple hours, have some dinner, play some mahjong. No, I don't know. Never mind. We're going to do something, and as I do that, things will collect here. I think I'm sort of babbling at this point, but so I think for the infinity armor pieces, there's something where you want to, maybe it's for I don't know, for one of these things, I think you need to collect all the pieces of the other armor. I heard somewhere that you want to keep one set of all the fancy armors, because you need them to create some of the in-game armor. So like we're going to want a full set of Faraday, probably a full set of like Terra Steel, a full set of, all the different armors like that, Flux Infused probably. So that's why I've got all these other chests here, is while I let this run, anything that looks good, like I want to keep a set of it, I'll throw it up in here for now. Alright, we're almost up to 4 buckets out of 256. Let me just take a quick look at that, so see how worried I should be about making sure I store all of that essence. So essence can be used. You can use the fluid dictionary conversion to change 0.1 millibuckets, or 0.1 bucket of essence into liquid XP. And then if I hover over this and hit U, that XP, I don't know what you do with that. What do you drink it? I don't know. At this point, we're not sure. So I can fill things with it. But I don't know what you do with it. Do you take a bath in it? Do you drink it? What do you do with liquid XP? At this point, we're not sure. But by gum, we're going to find out eventually, because I'll have a big old drum of it. So this is cooking along. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe retreat far enough away that other things will spawn in there too. But try to stay close enough that the spawner will work. I forget how that works. I think you have to be within 16ths of the spawner. Oh boy, we got all sorts of critters out here. This is why I have a fence around my machines, just so that if I'm out here at night and I'm spacing out and let it get too dark and a creeper sneaks up on me, it will take me and the fence out, maybe, but hopefully not take out the machines, like my generators and my mob slaughterers and my animal whatchamajiggers. Alright, so I think the other thing that I need to figure out is if I can on an individual personal server here, keep this loaded. So is there a way to like claim and keep this thing loaded? I'm not sure. That sounds like a Google search. But on the whole, I think this is going to be a good spot to end this episode. I don't know how long I've gone, but I've been babbling a bit. But now you see what I did. I've got, in an effort to minimize the controllers I used, which is the big box that sets up the network, and the connectors I used, I just dropped a line straight down into one connector attached to 3 things. Got my box, my barrel, my machine, got my spawner here. If I just chill here and go AFK for a couple hours, I should have plenty of stuff here. Hopefully I will have my flux infused helmet. Oh, I just remembered the other thing. So there was another thing. That's why I was babbling, is because I was trying to remember what the other thing was. The other thing is that these will take a looting add-on. And I tested that when I was trial running this mod pack, and it seemed to help on getting flux infused. So let's go ahead and see if we can make one of those. So this is courtesy of Industrial Foregoing. And if we take a look at the add-ons that you have here, got the range, Fortune add-on. That's what we're looking for. Which is a pink slime ingot and 6 emeralds. 6 emeralds. I hope I'm getting some for my miner. No, I'm not so far. Oh well, I know where to get more if I need to. So we got 6 emeralds, pink slime ingot. I do not think I have a pink slime ingot, so I will probably have to make one. But I do have pink slime, courtesy of my cow farm. What do I need to do for an ingot? I think I just need to smelt one of these bad boys. Let's take a look. Fortune add-on. It takes 2 buckets of pink slime and an iron ingot and a fluid sieving machine. Alright, I do not have that. So we will end things here. I can make this though, and I might make this if it's not too much trouble. But I think what I'll do is I'll go AFK there for a couple hours first tonight while I'm eating dinner. And if I still don't have my armor pieces and it doesn't seem like I'm getting the flux-infused leggings dropping very frequently, or the flux-infused armor in general, then I will go ahead and push on towards a fluid sieving machine, which I think I will need for other things eventually. And we will try to increase our odds there. Everything's still going fine here. We're a little backed up. I may have chugged up the drawer controller when I was digging out that monster room. Let's see. So yeah, I'll take a look at the fluid sieving to see if we want to do a fortune add-on for this mob guy. And I will also take a look to see if there's a way to keep this chunk loaded just for kicks and giggles, because that's something I'll need to know. Don't care too much for this, but I would like to know. And I will talk to you next episode. Bye.